Do you know where I am from? I pass the globe. You demonstrate my position in China and my hometown location. It will also let you know your location and connect with my heart. We came to my hometown of Shaanxi. You can see it later and eat it. Shaanxi Giant Wild Goose Pagoda, Shaanxi Terracotta Warriors, Yellow River Hukou Waterfall, Yellow River, Sichangkan Bay, Tai Bai Mountain, Lanchan People Ruins, Banbo Yu, an ancient cultural site ruins, Wangdi Mausoleum, Yandi Mausoleum, Terracotta Warriors and Horses of Qinjiwang, Linyi. Shaanxi, Kindling Copper Horse Carriage, Xi'an Ancient City Wall, Tang Sansai Bell and Drum Tower, Xi's Historical Museum, Daming Palace Site, Weiyang Palace Site, Zhongsai Tomb Site, Silk Road Starting Point. Memorial Hall can participate in the Antique City ceremony. You can see Big Wild Goose Pagoda and Small Wild Goose Pagoda in Xi'an. They are not in one place. Famen Temple, Binxian Big Buddha Temple. Watching Pool, Lushan Fuling Site, Mailing Site, Hanyang Mausoleum, Zug Wu Hou Tomb, Yan'an Baota Mountain, the site of the Chinese Communist Party conference. Yan'an is the red base of the Chinese Communist Party, where Chairman Mao Zedong directs national liberation. Tianzhu Mountain, Huishan, southern Shaanxi, southwest of Shaanxi, south of Kindling Mountains. Called Southern Shaanxi, Giant Panda, Yangxian County, Golden Monkey Talk, and Oily and Spicy, Flower Garden, Steamed Mutton, Beef Burrito, Dumpling Feast, Cool Skin, Facial Fried Jelly Meat, Folder Shadow Play, Paper Cutting, Painted Clay Sculpture, Anti-Waste Drum, Shaanxi Yang Chin Qian, I Can Only Understand, Zhang Liang Sell Cloth, Dating Farang Garden, Shaanxi Shenyang International Airport, Xi'an High-Speed Rail, North Station, Subway, Different Prosperity of the Ancient City.
陕西成为了中国版图上成都气息、灌煤混战的主要枢纽。高速铁路的飞速普及，更使得西安成为了新的时代背景下人流流大道上的主线集散地。城区内楼梯间道路、高架路和地铁组成的三维混道交通体系也已经颇具规律。美景、美食、舒适的旅业变得更加亲切，随手可得。今天的陕西以其开放创新的理念、前卫的旅游经营模式，迎接着来自世界各地的游客。千年古时的都市，在新的时代散发出愈加动人的光辉。遍布省区的众多宾馆、酒店，娱乐设施完备，配套齐全。白天你徜徉在一个老们所留下的珍贵遗产之间，而到了更国际的时刻，你又恍然发觉自己置身于一个国际化的现代都市之中。陕西的美食各自其坚守秩序、贯通古今，相关的罗马源于10个世纪之前，原是斯里兰卡的伊斯兰圣产，而发展的版图至此经历的各类历史，又是汉族更文化的真实心脏。至于食材昂贵、需繁杂的风景香艳，则已是中华地方文化的典型案例。在这一片古老而时尚的土地上，有一个民族的发展与起源，有一个文明的繁盛与辉煌，有撼人心魄的壮美山水，有魅力独特的经典传承，有坚守清贫的艰苦奋斗，更有敢为人先的奋进创新。这里就是陕西。古道陕西，何以称有中国？
Shaanxi borders with those places: Inner Mongolia, Shaanxi, Ningxia, Gansu, Sichuan, Henan, Hubei, Chongqing. Let me take you to my birthplace, Guangxi Town, Dai County, Huainan City, Shaanxi Province. Here's the birth here, the scenic spot in the eastern part of Shaanxi, Guanzhong. Shaanxi is divided into Shaanxi North, Guanzhong, 800 miles. Qinshuan mainly describes Guanzhong area, Sannan. I have not been to these attractions because I am alone. Does it make no sense to go? Waiting for your interest to go together. Our town is located in the Shiyuan area, a desert-like soil like the yellow sand. He is located in the northern plain of the city, and the traffic is very convenient. The highway, the high-speed and the high-speed railway are all in all directions. Here every year from September to October. The next 15 days will be approximately 30 days long rainy season. Otherwise it will be in the receipt of peanuts when the peanuts are received. Then enter the winter climate temperature. The main specialty of my hometown, ostrich, Qinshuan cattle, apple, pear, peanut, wheat, potato, carrot, corn, red date, winter jujube, daylily, wheat. Due to the development needs of the individual and the high price of the girl who sold the girl in the form of a family, the highest wedding dowry in 2005 reached $180,000. There will be other expenses for marriage. My parents support leaving their hometown and marrying their wives elsewhere. At the same time, I developed for the electronics industry, and I chose Shenzhen. I have lived in Shenzhen for 15 years. Shenzhen, referred to as Deep, nicknamed Pengcheng, is one of the 4 first-tier cities in China. The municipality of Guangdong Province, the city of planning, the sub-provincial city, the national regional central city, the mega-city, and the national economy of the State Council. Central cities and international cities, national innovative cities, international technology industry innovation centers, global ocean center cities, international integrated transportation hubs, and one of China's 3 national financial centers. Shenzhen is located in the south of Guangdong, on the east bank of the Pearl River estuary, separated from Hong Kong by water, east to Daya Bay and Dapeng Bay, west to the Pearl River estuary and the Boyang Sea, south to the Shenzhen River and Hong Kong, and north to Dongguan and Huizhou. The city has jurisdiction over 9 administrative districts and 1 new district with a total area of 1,997.47. 2011 Universiade Monument. Hongkong Universiade Stadium. Shenzhen and Hong Kong's Cross Sea Bridge. Yantian District Ming. Shenzhen Xingji 100 Building. Shenzhen Xingxing Square, also known as Diling Building. Shenzhen Dongmen Commercial Pedestrian Street. Here is mainly the clothing wholesale market. I lived here for a year around the subway line 1. The resident population of Shenzhen was 12.5 to 872,200. The actual administrative population was a window of China's reform and opening up and influence. City of the city, the Lincoln Bridge connecting Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland. It plays an important role in China's high-tech industries, financial services. Shenzhen has a full range of water, land and airports. It is the port city with the largest number of ports, the largest number of entry and exit personnel, and the largest traffic volume in China. Shenzhen's National Center City Index ranks 4th in China and is ranked as the world's first-tier city by GAWC. In December 2018, it was ranked as the top 30 cities with the strongest innovation, and ranked 5th among the best tourist destination cities in China. Deepwater Cargo Terminal, Yantian Port. Huacheng North Commercial Pedestrian Street, China Electronics First Street, Fujian District. Shenzhen, China is the first largest electronic market in Asia. It is mainly the national Shenzhen Concert Hall, Shenzhen Library. Shenzhen Civic Center is also known as the Shenzhen Municipal Government Office. The first tallest building in Shenzhen, Ping'an Financial Building. The 8th tallest building in the world. My name is Ji Xinpeng, the English name Ji Himoyang, from Shaanxi, China. Nowadays I live in Shenzhen, China. 32 years old, unmarried, no children, height 176 centimeters. Education, specialist, Chinese Han. I am a factory, shareholding, international business department, sales deputy manager. Past professional experience, general workers, security, maintenance engineers, foreign trade sales, all around the electronics industry, no religious beliefs, nor any legal religious beliefs. Because I am from rural China, I also know some basic knowledge about planting and breeding. Some ecological organic agriculture has been studied. In life, I am a well-organized person with a thoughtful mind, reasonable and good at thinking. I like to climb mountains and read books. No bad habits, only like to eat fruit, because the experience never carries a wallet. Not to mention the credit card flour or Alipay is enough for us to buy things. I have a lot of troubles in my life. I like to use jokes to resolve my heart and be able to control my emotions. I hope that my pregnancy knowledge will take care of you in business. I hate to marry after marriage or before marriage. 1. I hate girls. I want to have my social circle. I don't have time to deal with you. 2. When I hope that you can help me and do something, I don't understand it either. I am going to sleep. What is your ability? 3. Nothing is done every day, no formal work. Hanging around all day, paying attention to life and comfort. I hope you, one character comes together. You are a cheerful girl. I have a lot of words to say to you, afraid that you are not reasonable. 2. You are not a material desire. You can buy some luxury items every year. 3. There is no geographical restriction, except flash marriage or get married right away. 4. Expect your age, 20 to 35 years old. It is a reference, not a limitation. 5. Girls in English-speaking countries. Minimum high school or technical vocational school. I will support studying and continuing to learn in the future. 6. I expect you to be an acceptable or willing, accompanying me to a business trip. Maybe any corner of the world. Because this is done, how can we both be busy? I can always see you no matter how busy I am. You have annual public holidays even if you go to work. And I am different. I don't want to hear it when I work. I have to do it. I don't dare to get out. If you ask for leave again, I will not fire you. Because the event house was messed up, it was repaired. Because there is no free time. When using the law to protect their rights and interests, the court made the transcript of the trial into a mediation book and then was very helpless to make an appeal. Because of time, I don't have free time to stay with you and my children. If your country can't produce even qualified agricultural products, I hope my peasant family will be born to me. I can also provide you with advice on the production of eco-organic food. I am coming and participating in your past. I hope that my future will have you and we will live together. I will take good care of you, and you and your career will be my first priority. Comma. When you come to China and you have driving skills, I will negotiate with you to buy a car for travel when the economy is right, of course. I will also learn driving skills to ensure that during pregnancy, the due date is scheduled to be sent to the hospital in advance. There is such a thing that has always been in my mind. When I was working at the property, I helped pregnant women who were about to be produced. Calling a taxi, but the taxi driver refused to take the service on the grounds that his car was dirty. So I have been silently thinking that if we have financial ability, I must prepare the wife of the expected date to send the hospital's transportation. The expected date of birth is coming. She can hurt you again. Have time to blame the taxi driver. What's more, this rural home is a thing that is generally considered auspicious. I am also the worst to guarantee to rent a car or buy a second-hand hybrid electric car. The smartphone is convenient for China's fast payment. I will prepare Alipay and WeChat for you. Because I don't want to think about the amount of money I want to apply for. Applying for these payments requires China's real name certification in China. I will configure you with a laptop for learning skills and easy communication. I configured myself to learn laptops in 2007. If I am not used to laptops, please let me know. Desktop computers are also available, but when you want to use it to play video games, don't contact me. I am very resistant to this kind of behavior. As long as you don't object to marriage, I think you promised to be so good to you. 1. Where are you? Where is the home? I am not for money. You can choose the main property before marriage for notarization. 2. I don't care about money unless I am supervised. Save your voice. Don't buy this for you. Don't buy it for you. You know the economic situation, as long as I can guarantee my basic monthly cash and credit card expenses. Credit cards to buy large amounts of public objects. Agreed. 3. No matter how busy. Every year, I will buy at least 4 sets of clothes for you. Through the clothes to know your fat and thinness. Recent physical health make you feel my concern. Where are you now? Recent mood, etc. And 1 physical examination. Fear health makes me lose you. Buy a month to accompany the supermarket twice. 1 parental meeting in 1 semester. Family health is cleaned at the end of the month to share family responsibilities, companionship and responsibilities, family event processing even if the decision made is wrong. There must be 4 opportunities for participation throughout the year unless you give up. Life appliances are involved in the purchase. 4. I have any bad habits, and I cooperate with positive corrections. Do not interfere with your good eating habits and will not put any food that the other party does not like on the same table. But you can open a small stove diet. 5. Anything is doing wrong, it won't be beaten. It can be handled in any way, and the negotiation is the main one. 6. Respect your rational ideals and help yourself, as long as it does not violate the marriage and the law. For example, traveling around the world, learning what, etc. 7. When both parents are dying or sick, I will let go of the work at hand and go to the hospital to see and handle. No time to act as a proxy. Video to bring greetings to the elderly will arrive in time. I am afraid that I will not go back to see your parents in a short time, so the video call on the mobile phone makes her hold on to hope, but also to say something without regrets. From the story. A friend in the United States will let his friend on his behalf. He went to visit his father and thought that his father could not hold on to the last side because his father could not see it. After a video, he heard his father's last words. At the same time, I will discuss with you the appropriate commercial insurance. I don't want to see your parents have no money to heal or spend money when they are sick. People still don't keep it, and they make our lives more bitter. Because the company can't get the money out, I can guarantee that we can use the policy loan, or that is not a wealth management insurance policy. You can use a real estate or other collateral to lend to a bank or a guarantee company or a financial company. The idea is that I bought insurance for 10 years and learned the insurance law. The colleague who gave me at the Shenzhen Second Hospital. When I was accompanying, I saw a woman crying and grabbing a man outside the operating room. Q. Why don't you take the money out to treat your father earlier? Now my dad is gone, you know? The man said, I don't have. I thought it would be like this. The money couldn't be taken. I borrowed it. I didn't expect it to be like this. This thing was very touching, and I thought of it this way. 8. I will not hinder your career development and work for any reason. Can be recommended. 9. You invite family and friends. I will take it seriously. 10. From loving to marriage, I will choose to write a diary. I am afraid that it will not be loved if I don't understand it. The diary is the most responsive to the usual bits and pieces. You don't know. In fact, I did this too. Build and find common interests and interests. Always have something to say to you. Do more than 12 things that pay attention to your emotions and physical changes, and do more family life. Summary. I am afraid that you will not say anything. Boring in your heart. The temper is changing. I am also learning the FBI micro-expression because this sales and negotiation are also used. All these problems are all I have thought about solving real problems in other countries in 2009, and I learned. In fact, life can be simpler, as long as you feel that marriage can be well maintained. I can change it by you. How can I do it? At the same time, I will not forget the companionship of marriage support, communication, understanding, appreciation, understanding, tolerance, economy, mutual trust, support, respect, praise, dignity, etc. I have long thought about companionship with special attention. Even if I plan to open a store so small, I thought about arranging a day of unsatisfactory events as a non-business hours. Negotiation, international business negotiation. I also thought that I could start the remote basic negotiation first, and then I would do it for others. The lawsuit should be calm and rational. I have learned a lot of laws, but I don't necessarily use anything, and isn't there a lawyer? Other things can be reserved. I have also studied human resources and personnel management, and also through the work and talent market. I don't pay attention to it all the time, because I think I have to use it. Also, I started to learn some gynecological furs in 2008. During pregnancy, I also learned some of the pregnant babies. I can give you more understanding. I will also know how to help you. I also started studying in trade for 13 years. Because I met a girl in a trading company at the time, I thought about who she was going to have to give birth to. Later, in the pregnancy forum, I also encountered the same topic discussion. I understand the mood of your girls, plus I think I have to use them later. I have studied the documents carefully. Logistics, insurance payment, financing, negotiation, international law, and some case basics, in which I registered the Dunhuang website, Palpay account. Some things are learned from QQ group WeChat. You ask, I will learn from you. My biggest wish, you said, I have been with you in my life. Your parents are dying. The niece gives you peace of mind. Take care of her. Years will change your face and change my stereotype thinking to you. My most feared divorce and your departure. When you walk through the most bitter, another person enjoys it. I want to know if I agree. I don't agree with you. I have put forward some ideas to avoid the bad situation in the future. The way I was educated when I was young was like this. I couldn't help but talk about it. Throwing it out or rushing out. There are things that are often hungry, and I want to use death to relieve the pain every time. Every time my mother brought me back. I am particularly afraid of this kind of educational method. The direction of my efforts is our children. If you are a Chinese girl, your mother can let you go to college or above. I admire your parents very much. Can you let them bring us children? I am willing to live with you in the future. Our mother, your parents, I am willing to go closer to him. The way I was educated when I was young was like this. I couldn't help but talk about it. Throwing it out or rushing out. There are things that are often hungry, and I want to use death to relieve the pain every time. Every time my mother brought me back. I am particularly afraid of this kind of educational method. The direction of my efforts is our children. If you are a Chinese girl, your mother can let you go to college or above. I admire your parents very much. Can you let them bring us children? I am willing to live with you in the future. Our mother, your parents, I am willing to go closer to him. I met some gold girls in the matchmaking service just worshipping money and material. I hope that you are not, otherwise we will not waste each other's time. I met some gold girls in the matchmaking service just worshipping money and material. I hope that you are not, otherwise we will not waste each other's time. I met some gold girls in the matchmaking service just worshipping money and material. I hope that you are not, otherwise we will not waste each other's time. Some gold girls in the matchmaking service just worshipping money and material. I hope that you are not, otherwise we will not waste each other's time. When I came to the factory as a graduate of a technical college in 2005, I was unable to find the time to become a technical employee. I tried to apply for technical work after being denied. I have been looking for learning opportunities and improving my education. Due to the high-intensity generation tasks and overtime work of the factory, the learning time cannot be guaranteed. I am transferred to the security industry. Although sometimes not respected, but I rely on security work. I completed academic improvement and technical skills learning. Spend the toughest full-time education to raise difficult times. The most difficult period. I have to go to school during the day. I still need 12 hours to go to work at night. I can't support it often. The textbooks that I read often fall, and often go on the way home. I collide with the car next to the road and collide with the sidewalk trees. In this case, I rely on my savings and hope to get support from my parents. They tell the work not to quit. I can't guarantee your life. The work resigns, you wait for hunger. I now have resistance at the time of study. The force drops. The scalp leaves the skin infected with scars. I met her in 2014, a girl from Guizhou. Meet in early 2015. She said this in her future life plan. 1. The wedding ceremony of our family is not a lot. Just mean it. 2. With the child too tired. My mother will help me with the child. 3. I am doing business. Don't care to make a lot of money. Just be together with your family. In fact, if you want to do business, it will be better if someone brings words. His gastroenteritis and the feeling of my hungry stomach let us go. The thrifty people in life, but she has some very expensive things. I can't reach this height in my life. Her departure. I don't know why there is a mental breakdown. The whole body is very weak. Spit and diarrhea. Is there a feeling of full body pain? Because I feel that this is not a disease at all. I have been using other foods to relieve hunger for myself because I have to work. The last time there was a hemoptysis. Due to my reasons for growth and my family's conditions, he is like a treasure in me. But when I went to the second time without finding someone, I immediately turned my grief into a tourist. Therefore, I went to the scenic spots in Guizhou, Wangguoshu Waterfall, Zhejiandong, Zhejian Canyon, Jiasholu, Qilingshan, Clifford, Jianhu Miao Village. If not, the ticket continues to rise. I will go to Libo. In fact, I have always regretted that such a person may not be able to meet this life again. I have never been rushing to him better than me. All my requirements are only 1 point. When I work hard, I don't want to be hungry, my original family, if you do business or do sales, if you encounter a trough, even my own life cannot be guaranteed. Whiteheads to the old, never divorce. If there is a girl with money, I am the first to consider whether there is respect. When I was working at the SWHY-factory property in Shenzhen, a lady said to his husband all day long, "What are you doing all day long? What can you do?" Accuse him of not making much money. I have 20,000 Chinese yuan in my hand before. I don't know how to spend it. My only way is to divide into time deposits, demand deposits, funds, different income and risks, and dividend type insurance. I don't need a lot of money at all. I don't need a lot of money at all. Later, because she sent me a marriage certificate, I checked his information, and the information was asymmetrical but real. Some information is not true. I often regret it. I was almost killed by a car. I really came out because the bank informed me of the credit card installment. Otherwise, tomorrow will be overdue. Bad credit, not good faith record. I immediately came out of it. I think if there is no bank credit, once I meet the bottom of my life will be protected, including other industries in my life. Henan Sidong Shuoguo Hotel. Some of us were involved in investment and construction. But when the hotel was built, the project sponsors and others removed us. And in the name of others, other companies were founded. Transfer hotel property. The day before, I was still traveling in Hong Kong. I heard that the project organizer had the sincerity to deal with this matter. I and other representatives immediately rushed to Zhengzhou, Henan province, to deal with the matter. However, when we arrived at the meeting, the sponsor and the project initiated another argument. I am happy to turn it into a tourist. I don't think I can afford to pay for the transportation and travel expenses of the aircraft here. When we did not accept their opinions, we submitted the materials to the local Economic Investigation Bureau. After more than a year, the public security organs of the government have not given clear opinions. We responded to the Zhengzhou Municipal Government and the Henan Provincial Government Department, and I also did a letter from the State Council. We are still optimistic about the way we seek litigation and reporting. We are still appeasing other people not to do things that are irrational. When you envy China's life, do you want to live here forever? Below I have provided you with some convenient reference information. 4 billion. Therefore, China is a country that does not need immigration, but China is a democracy. There is now a serious imbalance between men and women in China. According to public data, men who are married at the appropriate age are 34 million more than women. China's aging population of 180 million people led the Chinese government to liberalize the second childbirth policy, but under economic pressure, most of them only give birth to one. Combined with the imbalance between men and women, causing the middle part of the price. The price of the bride pricing commodity house, Chinese people, the house with the residence, the form of marriage of the limousine. There are some sayings that the mother-in-law is selling her daughter, and this daughter is not yet maintained, and the mother-in-law's family's expenses are paid out. As far as I know, China accepts the most foreign girls to marry in China: Henan Province, Anhui Province, Hunan Province, Jiangxi Province, Guangxi Province, Yunnan Province, Shenzhen City among them. The most accepted foreign girls are married to China, which is Henan Province, China. As early as 2008, they had already married their wives from Vietnam through intermediaries. Vietnam's local wife has a population of 100,000. There are more than 20 countries in Ukraine and Africa. Myanmar, China's Yunnan Province and Guangxi Province are close to Vietnam. Myanmar and China, because of their geographical advantages, their marriage has been recognized and protected by two countries. However, in the past few years, the husband of a foreign girl, because the girl who married her wife became a wife, they will work very hard to create conditions for the wife and future children. After that, there will be great efforts for their husband and wife to provide some help to the parents of the girl abroad. Girls also help the Chinese life and learn Chinese because they live in China with the help of their husbands. They will live very well. The following is an international publicity section that I understand as the government of the People's Republic of China entrusted by the National Television of the People's Republic of China, CCTV, is abbreviated from China Central Television. 5. China has the most popular. Second, the analysis of the development trend of the imbalance between the male and female population in China. The cumulative effect of increase in the sex ratio at birth in the past 20 years has been revealed. According to the sex ratio at birth in the 1990s, the current number of males in the 0 to 20-year-old population is roughly equivalent to the population of the 20-year-old in 3 age groups. The effect has been considerable. If the abnormal sex ratio at birth is not effectively curbed, the excess male marriage will become more and more serious. In countries with a small population base, the shortage of female population can be solved through transnational marriage and female immigration. However, in a country with such a large population base in China, the shortage of female population makes it difficult to find a way in the form of international immigration. There is a saying that the shortage of female population can solve the problem of marriage in the age group of marriage ages through the expansion of marriage age. However, in the case of the growing gender ratio of infants and young children, this structural and cumulative imbalance makes it difficult to imagine the feasibility of a solution that the male population can find a spouse in a female population younger than her age. Because the population conflict between the big brother group and the little brother group for competing for spouses will intensify. 1. The crime rate is rising and the marriage relationship is unstable. Marriage gender squeeze is an external impact from monogamous families. Since a period of time, under the influence of the market economy and the appreciation of exchange value, pan-commodity concept, extramarital affairs and third parties have increased their participation. The divorce rate has continued to rise and the stability of traditional families has been threatened. Social criminal cases have increased. If the sex ratio at birth is not corrected, it will breed more of these immoral and ugly social phenomena. The basically disappearing sale in marriage, child marriage exchange, and trafficking in women will re-emerge and indirectly generate sexual violence, crimes, incest. Serious social problems such as social mentality distortions increase the risk factor of family and social instability. 2. Men rob women's rice bowls. Employment pressure. People are the unity of producers and consumers. The sex ratio of infants born increases and the sex ratio of working-age population increases, which will have some impact on production, exchange, distribution and consumption. Male labor employment will become more difficult, and the male labor surplus and employment gender squeeze will be more serious in the next decade or two. Some women occupy industries with absolute advantages, such as textiles and services, and must not be allowed only by men. 3. Elderly women will be reduced, and home-based pensions will increase, starting from the fact that China's population aging characteristics and social and economic development are relatively lagging behind the time difference. We can only take the road of combining social pension, family pension, and old age workers self-supporting at 3. Support. In view of the current high sex ratio at birth, the elderly sex ratio will be higher after 40 years, and the number of elderly women will be reduced. The status of family pension will be strengthened in the above-mentioned 3. Support. Increased. 4. The population is severely shrinking. The shortage of men and women will bring serious obstacles to population reproduction and cause serious population shrinkage, because the reproduction of the population is mainly achieved through the mother. The shrinking proportion of women in the social population will inevitably lead to a decline in the population's reproduction capacity. How do foreigners and Chinese get married and get a permanent residence permit from the People's Republic of China? Couples reunion application for permanent residence permit first. The application conditions. 1. Any foreigner who meets the following conditions may apply for a permanent residence permit for foreigners who have a husband and wife reunion. 1. Marriage with a Chinese citizen having a permanent residence in China or a foreigner who has obtained permanent residency status in China. 2. The marriage relationship lasts for 5 years. 3. Staying in China for 5 consecutive years, staying in China for at least 9 months each year. 4. Have a stable living security and shelter. 2nd, the application procedures. 1. Submit the completed application form for permanent residence of foreigners in China, reunion of couples. 2. Submit your valid passport or a copy and a copy of your passport. 3. Submit the health certificate issued by the Domestic Health and Quarantine Department, and the health certificate issued by the Foreign Health and Medical Institution must be certified by the Chinese Embassy or Consulate. 4. Submit proof of foreign criminal records certified by our foreign embassies and consulates. 5. Submit the temporary accommodation certificate in China or the People's Republic of China residence permit or People's Republic of China residence permit document, which must be registered in China when you live, or the house lessor will declare for you. Residence registration, otherwise the lessor will be punished by the government. 6. Submit a certificate of residence registration for a Chinese spouse who lives in China or a foreigner's permanent residence permit for a foreign spouse. 7. Submit the marriage certificate issued by the Chinese Civil Affairs organ. The marriage certificate issued by the Foreign Marriage Institution must be certified by the Chinese Embassy or Consulate. 8. Submit the certificate of economic source of the notarized applicant or the economic guarantee certificate of the spouse. The above-mentioned certificate issued by the foreign institution must be certified by the Chinese Embassy or Consulate. 9. Submit a house lease or title certificate. So your best protection in China. In fact, you will be born to your child as soon as possible after marriage, because even if you divorce your spouse or your spouse dies, you can take care of your child in China. At the same time, your spouse's parents also, because you take care of your child to provide you with the greatest help. The government street office will do its utmost to provide convenience for you. Because the Chinese household registration is obtained in a way, the parents of one Chinese may have Chinese descent. The parents of the child can declare the Chinese household registration for the child. Your child is born in China from birth. Your living conditions are good. You can stay in China in the name of taking care of children. The Chinese courts and government will support you to take care of children, because you are the most beneficial to the growth of children. You are the mother of a child, so you don't want to have a child. The child is not familiar with you. How can you take care of him? When you choose a good husband, the form of 100 family names, just one form is a population of several million. Your husband's family may be 2,000 to 2,000 population. It is possible that a family will take care of your life. Every aspect of life will be helped. You can't choose your birthplace. You can choose to live with me in China. So you like me? If you want to live with me, please contact. You can't choose your birthplace. You can choose to live with me in China. So you like me? If you want to live with me, please contact. I am a sales manager and maintenance engineer at a factory, and I will help you in your hometown according to my ability. Can also provide development advice for the development of your country. If you want your country to develop faster, I suggest that you introduce more sisters to China. Learn about China's advanced technologies and achieve more exchanges and easier trade trust. Your country has joined China's Belt and Road development and established a better diplomatic relationship with China in order to apply for help and interest-free loans. Interest-free loans or assistance to the Chinese government. In this way, the voice of the Chinese democratic countries against the government will be smaller, and the pressure on the Chinese government will be smaller. For example, the Chinese government often provided free aid and interest-free loans to African countries, and the Chinese people often questioned the Chinese government and did not solve China poverty issues. The NPC deputies also made the same call, because the people in difficulty have no way to understand. China has a large population, and some areas of the private sector may be more effective than the Chinese government, or the government and the Chinese people. sales manager and maintenance engineer at a factory, and I will help you in your hometown according to my ability. Can also provide development advice for the development of your country. If you want your country to develop faster, I suggest that you introduce more sisters to China. Learn about China's advanced technologies and achieve more exchanges and easier trade trust. Your country has joined China's Belt and Road development and established a better diplomatic relationship with China in order to apply for help and interest-free loans. Interest-free loans or assistance to the Chinese government. In this way, the voice of the Chinese democratic countries against the government will be smaller, and the pressure on the Chinese government will be smaller. For example, the Chinese government often provided free aid and interest-free loans to African countries, and the Chinese people often questioned the Chinese government and did not solve China poverty issues. The NPC deputies also made the same call, because the people in difficulty have no way to understand. China has a large population, and some areas of the private sector may be more effective than the Chinese government, or the government and the Chinese people. If your country can't produce even qualified agricultural products, I hope my peasant family will be born to me. I can also provide you with advice on the production of eco-organic food. I am coming and participating in your past. I hope that my future will have you and we will live together. I will take good care of you, and you and your career will be my first priority. Please contact